Alright boys, I don't know how, but I'm rating this video and it didn't even record my audio. I got the game, the music, but for some reason my microphone wasn't enabled on the stupid Elgato app, and I was trying to edit this video and it was cooked. But it's okay, it can be salvaged because we're gonna do some commentary over my POV. Anyway, so the reason why I wanted to make this video, or rather initially I was recording just some Korea ladder. Haven't played on Korea in a while actually, so I opened up the old Mudfish and I started gaming, and I was like, I'm not gonna be able to stream for a bit, so I'm gonna try to make some content. And the first game I played against Sort of, lost the late game TVZ, and then I got this game right afterwards against this 5'9" barcode Protoss, who turned out to be this, I believe he's a Chinese player named SCV. And during the game I played just a standard build, but I did a lot of like really good fundamental stuff that I really wanted to show, because I just think people will get super lost in TvP early game, and so I wanted to sort of explain in literally like the simplest way possible how I approached everything, like how I scouted, which is very simple, and then what I read from what I scouted, and then how I reacted to that. I didn't play anything crazy. I ended up SCV pulling, you'll see why. But otherwise I wasn't like dropping a Widow Mine and spamming 4 turrets behind another mineral line and adding on 3 barracks and all that stuff. I was not doing any of that. So the first thing here is the build. So in this game I played a build that I love to play, which is super standard Reaper Hellion. So Reaper fast expand, get a Hellion, get 1 mine, and then go for a medevac drop with that 1 mine. The reason why I like this build is the scouting potential, and then how easy it is to adjust depending against what you see or what you're playing against. So you can build a bunker, pull the Reaper back, take my gas, all that good jazz, 2 Marines in case it's the Adept. And then, so you'll see right here, I'll send my Reaper back in, and the first thing I do is go to the cliff. Okay, I haven't seen the cliff yet. I check the cliff, I see Twilight Council. Here I do the grenade trick. It's pretty easy to do if they wall like that. Legit, anyone can do it. Like, maybe you need to practice like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and then you can get it. But that specific wall off, it's very easy. And so here, instead of targeting probes, I go for the scout. And now at this point, there's a couple of things. There I've confirmed that the Twilight Council is being chronoed. I've seen 1 Stalker, 1 Adept, and I haven't seen anything else unusual. So here I know it's Blink, right? I don't know if it's 4-gate Blink, 3-gate Blink, 2-gate Twilight Robo, take a 3rd, you know, like standard stuff. And so because I have the Hellion though, I can actually scout the follow-up, which is why I love this build. And you can tell a lot of what Protoss is kind of thinking about doing based on the timing of the 3rd. And I wish you guys had the audio, the initial, like the original audio, because I'll scout the 3rd base right now and I predict everything this guy does. I think I see the 3rd about now. Yeah, there it is, so 350. And I'm like, okay, that's a really fast 3rd. I'm thinking gateway, man. 350 is a little bit early. You know, 410 I think is a pretty normal 3rd for Protoss if they're building a few stalkers on 2 bases with 2 gateways. You know, any later than that just means they're playing on 2 bases longer, so it's obviously building something. And you want to scout that's Blink, you know, Robo, faster Robo, whatever, Colossus even. And so after I see that, I go in here and I see, okay, 1 Robo, 1 gateway, right? So I've confirmed 2 gateways. I see no gas at the 3rd, or at the natural, sorry, which is a big thing, which is a big deal, because if he were going to be aggressive with Blink Stalkers, he would at least have 1 more gas there. And so because he doesn't have that gas, that leads me to believe that he's going to be playing gateway man, specifically just very zealot heavy. And so I adjust my build by only building 1 siege tank and gutting out the matrix, because originally I was going to build 2 siege tanks and get the matrix, but there's no reason to do that if your opponent is playing like this. And so those are the adjustments I make. After that, what you'll see me do, I'll scout again, and then I'll add 2 more barracks to do 5, and then I basically do a 5 racks SCV pull. You don't have to do the SCV pull. You can just play the 5 racks. But the reason why I choose Firex specifically is because a lot of times when you're playing against a Gateway man, 3 barracks production just isn't enough sometimes when you do your push. If you do your push and you get a decent trade, sometimes they can just quickly warp in 20 zealots and overwhelm you again. But if you have 5 barracks, it amps up your production, so you're able to build enough units and then defend a potential follow-up. So that's the reason why I do it. And in the original audio, I was clarifying that you don't have to do the SUV pull, but it is a nice timing that you can hit, especially with that Raven's alive and you've had decent macro. There I see some extra gateways being added. Okay, sorry for the yawn. It's like 10. It's actually 11 p.m. right now, so I'm grinding. Yeah, so I see the extra gateways, and that kind of lines up with my push timing. I'm trying to kind of block out that observer, and that at this point here, there's a couple of things you want to be thinking about. The first thing you want to think about, besides the observer is stalker placement. Okay, so as you move out, the stalkers might be outside your base. If you do SCV pull, you want to make sure that they don't see your SCVs going across the map because that helps them a lot. So you want to send the bio first and then rally the SCVs. The other thing is Warp Prism. Okay, Gateway Man always means Warp Prism. Most obvious place is going to be through your main. It's always going to be when you move out. So if you're not SCV pulling with this push, I highly recommend rallying units into the corner of your main and then doing what I did here, which is putting the Widow Mine and then maybe a missile turret. Okay, and placement matters here, so try to cover as much surface area as you can with that. But this basically allows you to just defend easier, and bam, I see it. I kind of like initially F2'd, and so you can see my army heading back for like 3 or 4 seconds, which is kind of bad for me because I could have just sent those all across the map earlier, which means I would be like halfway across the map already, past the watchtower, and that can be a big deal when you're all-inning because of the extra units that can be warped in. Okay, now here, this is a big part that I need to also clarify. This person forgot charge. Okay, even if he had charge, I think he dies here. With the missile, I would have missiled the zealots right here. With the SCVs hopping in there, I would have killed him. But because of so many stalkers, I was really confused, which is why I didn't like move my SCVs. I did stim a little bit too much here. I stimmed a second time a bit too quick, so just be careful about that. But as you can see, got so much stuff at +1 attack. You know, if that missile hits the zealots, I kill all those zealots easily. And obviously, if you would have had more zealots, that means you would have had stalkers. So you can't be like, well, he's already have like 20 stalkers. You know, like he would have had 20 zealots too. That's not true. The only reason he has 20 stalkers is because he didn't have charge. And the reason why I have so many marines is because I thought he was gonna have charge. So I went more marine heavy with his opener, anticipating that he was gonna have less stalkers and more zealots. And then here I don't stim again. You don't need to. Just give the HP on your units. There I stimmed that last time to finish that pylon off to prevent the warping of additional units. That time it's worth it. But during the actual fight where you're kind of surrounded by zealots, the last thing you want to do is stim, because then they're going to clear your shit faster. You don't need that. Okay, even if your stim wears out, it's not worth it. And then at this point I start building workers again. And then, yeah. But basically everything in this game, just the scouting, the adjustment of my build, the prediction of the prism, was all really good. And I wanted to demonstrate how to utilize those units to actually see what someone's doing and then react to it. And obviously this is specifically against Gateway Man, so this example, I suppose, is specifically going to be against when you play against that. But if it's something you struggle with or struggle against, this is exactly how you want to do it. It really does not get any more cookie cutter than this. Really straightforward game. Very straightforward reactions from me. Obviously just a mistake. I was just confirming there that he didn't have charge. Yeah. So that's it for this video, boys. Hope you guys found that helpful. And I'm doing some analysis here. Oh, I was explaining here like, oh, I can't freaking, you know, I still would have won this game even if he had charge because yada 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 yada. But yeah, otherwise that's it, boys. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.